On a good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right up. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Obi Melifonwu. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Brandon, when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach and talked about how they wanted to begin this game offensively, they talked about their script, didn't they? 10 to 15 plays, the first 10 to 15 they had on their script. Nowhere on the script was there throwing an interception, I have to believe.
Now the first carry for Marshawn Lynch. And now running right through it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Here's a give to the fullback. That's Johnson. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. Throwing now is Carr. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Well, this wind is definitely going to be a factor as this game goes along. He's throwing straight into it here in the first quarter, and the ball fluttered on him a little bit. He'll definitely have to file that one away and make a mental note of it.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brad, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's 2nd down.
Here we go now.
Working from the gun, Keenum. Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Gary and Conley. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Amari Cooper, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders have taken the early lead.
And that's exactly what you're supposed to do with good field position. You make the other side pay when you don't have far to go for the score.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Tried to get that one to Jake Butt, and now it's 2nd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Here we go now.
They go play action here on first down. And this one complete to Virgil Green. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
And he spots Henderson open left side. And he'll be knocked down sideways. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Second down, and the offense needing 5 yards.
Green, 39.
Now Keenum. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
On the carry, it's Booker. And down inside the 15 he goes. 10 more there and another first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice gain.
No gain on the play there, second down. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Keenum. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Anthony Hitchens from that outside linebacker spot. He's able to get in there for a loss of 9. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile.
Here we go now.
From the gun, it's Keenum. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses have we talked to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they wanted to.
On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. He spins free. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. So out come the Raiders. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll start on the ground with Lynch. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. They'll run again with Lynch. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
on 1st and 10. Here's Carr under a heavy rush, and down he goes. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. From the gun, it's Carr. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Von Miller in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Marquette King to punt it away. Carlos Henderson is deep for Denver. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah, right? A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting off field.
And the Raiders have got him. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Here's Keenum. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Henderson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. Got a man, he finds Sanders. And he brings this up to the 46, good enough for the 1st. Broncos on the move here a bit. Nice plays in succession back-to-back. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Now Keenum throwing on 2nd. And for the 3rd time here in this, and it's a fumble. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Following the penalty, Lynch. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Carr on the bootleg. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. They'll run with Lynch. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it?
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So the pigskin will move from the 2 down to the 1.
And I have not met an offensive line yet that doesn't think they can get it in from the 1-yard line on a running play.
They go power. This is Johnson, the fullback. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get off on the snap, jump too quickly.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra hut, you know, that extra emphasis on it, got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They come out here in the eye. They'll run for it with Lynch. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Marshawn Lynch, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Cody Latimer, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Back to the air on second down. It's Keenum. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Carlos Henderson, the intended receiver. And now it's third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes his quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Over the middle, he gets it to Patterson. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
On second down, Lynch. And he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them, but on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Marshawn Lynch with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Raiders add on to their lead. And it's 21-3. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
All right, now look at 56.
From the gun, here's Keenum. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 41. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing, May have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
First down, the run with Lynch. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Carr to throw on second down. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Denver. I think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead. Not so fast. That pick six really changes the complexion. Probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now. Probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
It's up and good, and the lead is down now at 11. It's 21-10. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we send you now to Orlando to check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, LR. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Throwing on first down is Carr. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there. Carr to Cooper. 48 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Von Miller in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Now Carr throwing on second down. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Aaron Donald in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a third and long. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a third and long. Now Carr. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A big pickup, 18 yards, but they still stop him well short of the marker. So on fourth down, off goes Carr, and on is Sebastian Janikowski. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And that's hooking, and Janikowski missed it. It's no good, wide right, and this score will stay right where it is.
It looked good when it left his foot, but he kind of sliced it a little bit, and he winds up missing it wide right.
Here we go now.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw, and he couldn't hang on. Would have been their fourth pick of the game. Instead, second down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there, because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
And he coughed it up. And an alley to run. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Carr. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
So he missed a field goal earlier, but he says not this time, and he's able to knock it through to give his guys 3.
And that's all you want as a kicker, a chance to redeem yourself. You got to have a short memory if you're going to survive at this level, and he's able to get back on track.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly
you
right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Fresh set of downs here.
Here we go now.
Keenum. Throw left side complete. It's Henderson. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain of 39 that time.
Trying to defend a drag route is really tough because you don't want to jump a route that's shorter or underneath as the drag route is too quickly, because oftentimes they want to run that route and then hit over the top of you for bigger yardage. So if you can chip off the timing of the receiver off the line of scrimmage so he can't actually get into the route, that's the best way to defend it. But there was no possibility of that on that play. End result, receiver won in a big way.
Call it a gain of 5, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Here we go now.
A shotgun snap for Keenum. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And not a blitzer, but still able to get there from a strong safety position.
Yeah, I think that was a great example of what they call football IQ. Recognizing he was open, had a chance, and went ahead and got to the quarterback.
And McManus able to put it through. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So he splits the uprights there, and I would imagine it's nice as a kicker. Right when it leaves your foot, you know it's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a golfer that picks up his tee after a nice drive without even watching it land.
Solid analogy. I like it. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. To throw, it's Carr. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
All right, here we go.
So they get the INT. Now here's Keenum. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Anthony Hitchens in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
Set. Green 3.
From midfield, here's Keenum. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Here's Keenum. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Travis Carey. Past the 20, 10, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Well, this has just been obviously a dreadful day for him throwing the football. Now 4 interceptions. This one leads to 6 points going the other direction. Tough.
Yeah, it is, and this feels old school to me because you never really took out your starting quarterback back in the good old days. No matter what was going on, he was your guy, and you rode him for better or for worse. In today's football, usually we got a backup who's warmed up and is coming to the game, so you can see an old school approach here that's not really benefiting them at this point.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6, obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. So
the Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos cut into that lead. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
If he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. They'll try to get something going with Marshawn Lynch. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Well, Brandon Pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage.
Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Raiders with a lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down. Now Carr. And this is Cook with a grab. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The Raiders on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Shotgun now for Carr. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard.
Here we go now.
Working from the gun, Keenum. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
Here we go. 319. 319. Here we go now. 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a fourth down.
That was a terrific job by the defense stopping them on 3rd and short. But sometimes you get some visual cues from the offense because when they're going in short yard situations, you might see the offensive line come in tighter together, a little more shoulder to shoulder, trying to wedge a hole in the middle. They didn't get it done on that play.
Keenum now to throw. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
Carr gives to Marshawn. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. On second down, here's Carr. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Carr to throw on 3rd and 1. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets them build up a little cushion.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
Here we go now.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So the Broncos coming out now. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. And it's a huge return as he brings this all the way back down to the 15-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now. It's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Second down, 8. Running it, Washington. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
On 3rd down, they go Lynch. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Marshawn Lynch, his 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. And it's up and good. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And coming out now, the Broncos. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
But this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right,
throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Bruce Irvin leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Keenum again here on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. The Broncos on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
All right, here we go.
Again, Keenum. Sanders has it over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. So they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
Let's go.
They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. Keenum to throw again. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Carlos Henderson, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up third down.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the fourth quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Here we go now.
Again, they'll throw with Keenum. And down he goes. Keenum is sacked. Anthony Hitchens getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
All right, here we go.
Now Keenum, got to have this one. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Raider D, they get the football back. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one.
What's tight end? Hey. 4 down. Now, who waiting? Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We're taking wins home.
On 2nd down, Washington. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Raiders, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Denver, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears. So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a